first of all, I appreciate it. Let me get on. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Frank. Thank everybody that got on tonight. When you say that, Mike, it's interesting. You say, I don't know what happened last week. Well, I know what happens because the people on the team are the people on the team. The people in I'm not, listen, I say this with complete candor and I love everybody. I'm going to start with that. Okay. That being said, I watched my mother survive my entire life. Like, that's what I watched her do. Survive. Never thrive. Never get ahead. Work 3 jobs. My mother survived. When she got a real estate license, all of her friends said, you should quit, because my mom's friends were stupid and broke. You can spin it however you want. We had a community around us with a bunch of broke people. People used to say to me, what happened when you got in trouble? I said, my mom would call my neighbor and she come beat my ass. Like, I get it. I had structure, but I never wanted to survive, dude. I wanted to thrive. So Mike, writing 10 grand a week is making a decision to thrive. There's nobody on here that can't do 10 grand a week, because you meet the people at the company do 10 grand a week. They're not special. They just buy more leads. They run more appointments. That's it. I run the entire company. I know most everybody. They're not smarter. They're not better. They're not better looking. They're just not. They just want to thrive. So the thing is, and what I mean by thriving, I think, is they want to get ahead. They are concerned that if something changes, they don't want to be beholden to selling life. Like, they want to sell enough, recruit enough people to get ahead. Capitalism works because most folks don't want to get ahead. And I don't know all your situations. Maybe some of you want to. I don't know. You're killing it. I don't know everybody's spot in life. But I know that it works because most people don't want to get ahead. You dial the phone and it can suck for 4 hours. What do a lot of people do? Quit dialing the phone. Take a 3-hour break. Call their friend that doesn't do it and complain to their friend. Dude, we help people with life insurance, and we have more people than we can get to. They die every day with no life insurance. And then we have people that are living paycheck to paycheck to work with us. It sucks. It's a heartbreaker, Mike and Frank, but it's the reality of where we are. So I think the struggle for a lot of folks is when they built their business. My training, I got hired by a guy named Jim Godwin, June of 2008. He might be the dumbest guy in the insurance business, because he quit a month after he hired me. Bad idea. He should not have quit. Okay. And he hired me, and he said, I don't sell anything. He said, I can't really train you. And I said, I didn't want you to train me because you're pretty lazy. And I really don't like you that much, which is what I said, by the way, in case you want to know. And I said, I don't really like you. And I definitely don't want you to train me, because my children, they rely on me to support them. And I'm not going to let you mess that up. I just need you to tell me how to get my carrier appointments and then get out of my way. Michael, my second week, I wrote 10 grand. I sold life insurance there 5 years and 4 months in 3 weeks. I'm counting because it sucked working there. So I counted every day. Okay. I never, and I mean never, ever miss 10K a week again. Never. My first year, I was part-time. I had 2 jobs. I worked at the social worker department, children and families, 3rd shift, 40 hours a week. And I was a real estate agent. I wasn't a very good real estate agent, by the way, because I was like, you want to look at a house? How many? Hurry up, make a decision. Are you qualified or are you not? Open houses. I was like, why are you here? What are you coming in for? Actually, can you buy something? Leave me alone. I was a terrible real estate agent, dude. My boss would be like, you can't tell me you only show them 3 houses. I was like, there's no rules. I'm independent. I will show them 3 houses. They make a decision, or I'm firing them. I had my own list of you could fire. I'd fire them. Like, I'd be like, hey, I'm terminating my relationship with you. Like, you can't do that. I was like, sure, shit, I can. I just did it. Look, you're fired. I wasn't going to waste my time. I was not very good at it. When I found life insurance, I realized I could be pretty good at it. And I realized I really, really enjoyed it too. So in 2023, what you have to realize is 2008, for a lot of you are too young to know this, but in 2008, we had a really bad economic situation. Okay. And it was awful, but it was the best hiring time I've seen in this business. And also life insurance, dude, people were broke. Most of the people you know right now are having a hard time getting by, which means they need life insurance. People buy life insurance when the economy is good and when the economy is bad. I did better when the economy was bad. I did go all the time, but I did really well, Jess, when I knew that people couldn't pay their bills. So I was like, that's exactly why you need this. You have no choice. I did well hiring. So I was like, yo, you want to make some extra money outside of what you currently do now? And most everybody was like, yeah, I do. I was like, all right, come work with me. So you have like the perfect storm. It's if you decide to take care of it or take advantage of it. You fast forward today, 90 days. If you're working 6, 7, 8 hours a week and you're part-time, dude. If you have a full-time job, I ain't judging nobody. Live your life, make as much money or as little money as you want outside of your full-time job. But if this is the way you pay your bills, I'm assuming most of you have children. I would assume, not all of y'all, but age-wise, that looks like the crowd that probably got some kids, right? Dude, in 90 days, if you're not working 40, 50, 60 hours a week to start this business, you're probably going to be out of this business. And by the way, that's okay too. Like, I got to be honest with you. I mean, Ryan, you as a cop, I was in the police academy 4 months, 2 weeks, and 2 days. The problem is it lasted 4 months and 3 weeks. They fired my ass. And they should have, because I probably would have gotten arrested if I went out on the street and become a cop. So like, they fired my ass. They was like, you ain't taking you, man. You're crazy. And I was like, okay, but I've been here almost the entire time. Why can't I finish the academy? I went ahead and had to go do something else in my life. But I'm telling you right now, it's okay. People switch jobs. Do I think this is the greatest job there is? I do. I do, because we help people, which is pretty unbelievably freaking cool. And we get paid really well. Now, why do most people fail at it? Because they're not consistent. When you're not consistent and 30% of the work you do charges back in any job, you'd be out. So, Mike, the company goes, the numbers go like this. Week 1, we sell a bunch. That's how it's a roller coaster. I always just wanted to be here. I was never trying to be like this every week. I was like, dude, give me 10K a week. If I do 12, cool, 14, but I never go below 10. What you need to commit to tonight is, what is your bottom line? It might not be 10. If you ain't written 10 yet, then next week you may not write 10. But if you've never written 3 or 4, start somewhere. If you say, Shawn, you got to start running tomorrow. Shit, I don't run. I ain't running a mile. I ain't running a 5K. I ain't running a half marathon. Because to me, that's stupid. I ain't running anywhere. Some of you might run. Good for you. I drive 26 miles. I ain't running nowhere. God didn't make me fast. I ain't running for nobody. But if you tell me I got to run a marathon, if you tell me tomorrow, Shawn, you got to run a marathon, I ain't running 26 miles tomorrow, but I'll run one. I'll run one. Matter of fact, I'll probably run one 3 days this week. And next week, maybe I'll run 2 miles in one of those given days. But give me some time and I'll get my lazy, no running behind to 26 miles. I won't be fast. I won't set records, but I will do it. You have to take this business and decide what you're going to do right now. Now, the problem for most everybody is they want these really cool answers, right? You're like, tell me what to say when I meet with the people. I don't know. I'd tell them they need life insurance and get it for them. I'd tell them you was in charge. I'd take control of the situation 100% of the time. I'd talk with passion. When they said stupid stuff, I'd go, that was weird. Why did you say that? I'd take no shit from nobody. I wouldn't take any shit from myself if I was you. I don't take no shit from me either. I would get on the phones at 8 a.m. in the morning. I would dial and dial and dial and dial, however y'all do it, phone burner, wherever y'all use. I would dial. You know, you think it sucks? We used to dial. We had to dial it ourselves. We put the numbers in. It'll freak you out. We didn't have no phone burner. The paper apps for 15 pages, that sucked too. My leads were $85 a pop. That sucked too. I paid the lead override if you bought leads and you're my team. But dude, we did it. But the struggle for most people is that we don't realize the sacrifices that you have to make. If you're new and you're less than 6 months, it's a grind. It is. It's what separates most people. It's a grind. It is supposed to be hard at the beginning. Like, no doubt about it. But Michael, what you got to figure out, and Frank, is who wants to thrive, dude? And if you want to just survive, you should be honest about it. And by the way, I don't mean just if you want to survive. Your goal is, I want to pay my bills every month. Dude, there ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm sorry, but if people tell you you're stupid, that's stupid. Dude, if you want to pay your bills, pay your bills. I wanted to do better because I chipped my shoulder. I was watching Charles Barkley interview the other night, and some of you are too young to know Charles Barkley. He's a really good basketball player for you young people. And they said, why'd you play so hard? He said, I hated my dad. My dad left my mom, promised to pay her, never paid her, hated my dad. And I hated my Spanish teacher because she failed me and I couldn't graduate from high school with the rest of the class. He said, I played with hate in my heart for about 11, 12 years. Then I snapped, spit on a fan, reconfigured my mind. I was so angry and I started playing for something else. Right now, it's okay to play with a little hate in your heart. I hate my situation. I hate I'm where I'm at. I got to ask people how much something costs. I got to think about that for my kids. I hate at my age, I'm not where I'm at. I hate that clients are a pain in the ass sometimes. I hate sometimes they act like they didn't fill something out. Dude, I get it. But you got to channel that emotion because right now it'll pass you by. And I've tried everything, dude. I'm older than most of y'all. I've tried everything to make money. If it's a product, I've sold it. I've had every job you can imagine. This is the easiest and most lucrative one I've had. It doesn't discriminate. It doesn't matter your age, your background, education, not. It doesn't matter how you dress. It doesn't matter if you have no tattoos or tattoos from your forehead all the way down to your toes. It don't matter. Don't matter if your ears are pierced, your eyebrows are pierced, your hair is purple, you ain't got no hair. It doesn't matter because our middle American clients, they just want somebody to tell them the truth. They want somebody to look them in the eyes and stand up for them. You want to stand up for yourself, stand up for our clients. Why do they challenge you a little bit? They're scared. They're scared. They filled out a form, sent it back to somebody they don't know, and they know they need life insurance. Something happened, family member, friend, somebody got sick or died, and they're scared, genuinely scared. So when you come in scared, what happens? They're even more scared. But if you call them in complete control, selling over the phone, if you go, should I sell virtually, Shawn, or in the home? Which one you doing now? Virtually. How much you selling a month? $8,000. Shit, go in the home. $8,000 sucks. I'm selling in the home. How much you selling? $8,000 a month. Shit, get on the phone. Or start working harder at what you're doing. But the clock's ticking. And I think that's the concern that most people don't acknowledge it, dude. You have to be real with yourself. I read this thing the other day about why you shouldn't talk so much about your goals. And I was like, I don't know, dude, that's weird. Why not? And there's this scientist was talking about what you do to trick yourself into feeling productive and getting this pump, this juice of your, dude, at some point in time, we just have to take action, massive action. Is everybody in this Zoom going to take massive action? No, I'd be lying to you if I said that. Statistically, I don't know how many of you will, but what you have to ask yourself is, are you going to be one of the people that does? Frank Euphemia, when we launched company, drove me crazy. He's opinionated. He's got something to say about everything. Sometimes I felt like I was in an episode of Goodfellas, the movie, when I talked to him, because I was like, dude, what does he think he's like in the mafia? Like, what's going on? He drove me crazy. But dude's a worker. He worked every day, all day. I love him. He's like a brother to me. I do it in the world for him. And by the way, I drove Frank crazy. I didn't listen. I didn't even talk to him half the time when he was upset because I knew him. Familiarity breeds contempt. But Frank knew I was working. I knew Frank was working. All you got to do is work. That's why Frank got so big, dude. He's a worker. He's a grinder. Mike's working, I'm telling you, dude, when you start to go to work, there's a lot of ills. I tell people, don't be absent and expendable, bro. And if you think the world treats everybody the same, you know it doesn't. If you have multiple kids, you know which one's the smartest. You might, I love them all. I love both mine too. One's smarter than the other one. Ain't even close, actually. One's got a better heart than the other one. Hard to say, heart, but one does. One I trust in emergency situations, one I don't. I love them both with all my heart and soul. But you have to start to understand your own strengths and weaknesses and what's holding you back. And if it's you, you get to change it. If it's somebody else, stop talking to them. If you're looking to write 10 grand, you don't know how to do it, find somebody that is and mimic them. That's all you have to do. I got good at mortgage texting by listening to Frank Euphemia's mortgage. I was like, dude, that's actually really good. Why am I not doing that? And then I said exactly what he said. And then when other people got good at final expense, I was like, tell me what you say, bro. And they did. And I was like, damn, I'm going to use that. And then phone script. Like I had my own stuff, but I took from other people. So Frank and Meaike, we have a phenomenal opportunity to take advantage of what's happening today. I can talk to you about scripts if you want and exactly how many dials you should make, but it's all bullshit. If you want me to do it, I will. It's what kind of attitude you have in your life and in your business. It's what kind of activity you put forward. It ain't any deeper than that. How do you grow? What have you learned? How have you challenged yourself? What have you changed about yourself? What have you seen other people do that works? What have you seen other people do that doesn't work, that you're going to stop doing? Wake up every morning and think, what is one thing I need to change about my business today? And this is the hard one. What is one thing I need to change about me? When you're as messed up as me, you have a lot of things change about yourself. So I have plenty. I don't ever want to things change. I'm like, dude, that's another thing I change about myself. I got to change that about myself too. But I'm an open book in that regard. I know I got to change things. So if you're growing, changing, developing, getting uncomfortable, sky's the limit. And the reality is in 23, and you're seeing it early in the year, there's a lot of folks who just decided this is their year to thrive. They're done surviving. And the reality is most of us don't come from any money. I went to a college you've never heard of to play ball. I would never have gone if it wasn't for that. I like cocaine more than I like baseball, so I didn't go much further than college because I like cocaine a lot in college. You know what I mean? And then I like to smoke it. That was even more fun. I'm a train wreck, dude, but I'm here. God's got his hand on what we're doing. I'm imperfect. My faith comes from what I've seen. And we got to tap into that, man. And our clients need us. It's okay to get a little uncomfortable. It's okay to go through some stuff. But I promise you, with everything I got, if you are willing to work your ass off, I'm here for you, man. I don't care who you are, where you come from. You know, I'll leave you with this. Damon John spoke at our event. If you all heard him, you were at the convention and heard Damon John speak. And before the event, I said to Damon John's people, because when you're famous, you have people. So like, I never got taught Damon John for the event. I had to talk to his people, which is cool, right? So they said, they said, hey, he's speaking. You had Kevin O'Leary last year. And I was like, yeah. And they said, they're very competitive. Do you think Damon will be better? I was like, well, Kevin wasn't really that good. So, I mean, Damon had to kind of screw it up pretty bad not to be better than Kevin. And they were like, they didn't laugh. I was like, was that too much? Like, honest, like, what do y'all want? And they're like, no, that was cool. And they were okay. And then I said, hey, will Damon John do a podcast with me? And they say, oh yeah, 100%. He'll do it at the convention, $75,000. I said, he gonna charge me $75,000 to sit with me for 25 minutes while he's already there in a podcast. They said, yeah. They said, what do you think? I said, I'm not gonna tell you what I think, but I am saying no. Okay. So that's it. Like, he comes to the event. I meet him beforehand. He's super nice. He gets off stage. I'm trying to be polite, get the people to drive him in a golf cart back to where his room is, and figuring he's going to leave. Like, I ain't never going to see him again. I shake his hand. He says, hey, man, you still want to do that podcast? I said, yeah, bro, 100% do, but not for 75K. I can't, bro. I can't do it. He said, I'll do it for nothing. I said, okay. So we drive a little golf cart back up the room, get set up in the podcast, and said, man, if you don't mind, before we get started, I got to know. Last week, you were a hard no. Like, you said 75 grand to these guys, and then you needed to go through the Q&A to see if you'd be willing to do it. Why did you change your mind? And I love when people do this. He goes, why do you think I did? I love that. And then there was a guy, Frank knows that. I was like, I love that. You tell me what you think. And one of the guys with me goes, oh, he was like, man, you connected with Shawn. And I was like, ain't got nothing to do with me. Nothing. He said, what do you think it is? I said, you looked out at that crowd and you've been at a lot of financial services events and you've never seen a crowd that diverse in any financial services event you've ever been in. He said, that's exactly why I'm doing it. That's exactly why I'm doing it. He said, you all should be proud of what you're building. It's a representation of America today, as opposed to things I've been at before. I said, I've said from day one, our diversity is our biggest strength ever. So he's like, that's why I'm doing it. He's like, and thank you for not thinking it's about you. I said, bro, I don't think anything's about me. Hell, plus you knew me before this. It was nothing about me, nothing I could have done when you got up on stage. So it is our biggest strength. We need to protect people. I love y'all. I'm here for you. And I'll work as hard as y'all work for yourselves. But if you don't put the work in or you don't change, I'm here for you. I still love you. I'm still your buddy, but ain't nothing I can do. Just nothing I can do. But believe in yourselves, man. Like I can see it, everybody's as much as you can in the Zoom with your eyes. And it's like, dude, some of you, I see myself in 2008, half pissed off, half don't want to. That's how I was, dude. Wondering if I can do it. I don't know if I can. Is this for me? And I just, decided that God brought me to this guy, Jim Godwin, for a reason. I got my insurance license for a reason. I'm gonna give everything I got. So, Frank, I don't know if there's anything else you want, bro. That's what was on my heart. And if I screwed it up, I apologize. I was trying not to.
No, I think as ad-libbing is probably your biggest strength. If you could just for a couple minutes touch on integrity. I mean, I know I've talked about it, but you are obviously the best at getting people to move faster than we ever can. So, I mean, I know what it's done for Jamie and I know what it's done for you and your family, but I don't know. Because honestly, when you called me that, I remember I was at a cookout. It was Labor Day weekend. And you told me you sold the company. And then you said, well, you can do the same thing. And I always believe you. So it wasn't I didn't believe you. I didn't believe that maybe we had what it took to get to that level. So I thank you for that opportunity, because you could have easily sold it and kept all of it, and we could have never had the opportunity to sell. But you've obviously gotten 24 people to believe enough to do what they need to do to get there. So if you could just share a little bit about integrity to this group, I think it's huge, because it's been an amazing opportunity.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to show you straight. The reason that FFL partnered with Integrity is the way we're structured. We needed some infrastructure upgrades I couldn't afford. I mean, to be quite transparent with you. We had gotten to a sales force at that time, about 12,000 people. We had a CRM that was imploding, just couldn't handle the traffic. We needed a capital infusion, but I didn't want to partner with anybody that was going to change anything at the company. So I met with a bunch of private equity companies. They would sit me down in these really nice offices and tell me where they went to college and tell me how smart they were. And I was like, I went to Eastern Connecticut State University. Y'all never heard of it. Congratulations. I really wasn't feeling it at all, because they were going to give me a certain amount of money, have me pay them back, and take a percentage of the company. And I was like, dude, I'm good. When I met Integrity through a guy that I've known for 12 years who just happened to call me, and I talked with him, and I said, listen, I know we need the capital to run the company. I know what I keep. I'm fine. I have no problem doing that. But I'm only going to do it if I get to continue to run the company, because I'm good. I love this. And number two, I want everybody that works the company, because they all own their own bill. We have no contracts with them. Like, we're happy. We love the way we're structured. And they said, we're not going to change a thing. And they haven't. Some of the stuff we've been through too, because when you get to look like you're bigger than you are, it's expensive. It just is. People it's expensive, it can get litigious. There's all kinds of stuff that goes on. So, but Frank, the best part for me has been being able to say, hey, look at these guys and girls in their business, and let's let them talk to you and see if they want to take cash, stock, earn out salaries. That's been really cool for me, because you build something you like. I mean, you hire insurance agents and everybody sells life insurance. And then before you know it, you're like, they're going to give me what? I'm like, oh yeah, no, it's obnoxious. Like it's actually hard to explain. But Frank, for us, we wouldn't be anywhere near where we are without integrity. It was hard for me to admit that I needed somebody on my side, because I act like I am fearless, but sometimes it's stupid to be fearless when you should have fear. You know, like you walk out your house and there's 12 dudes and they'd all just walked out of an MMA match and a couple of them got weapons. It's probably a good idea to go back in your house and figure some shit out. You know what I mean? Like, but I typically like, let's go outside and get knocked around. And, you know, it's been the greatest relationship we could have ever had. And every one of you has the ability, and that's a fact, to build a business to whatever size you want it to. And the same thing goes with them. That's one of the first things I said to them when I met. I walked around their partner wall and I said, the partner walls look a lot different now that you brought us on, bro, because we do not look like you got the same, like everybody looked the same. You brought a different group in, bro. We're about to change that thing up. And I'm proud of that too. You know, we were the first group that added true diversity to the partner wall. Not that anybody was trying not to be that way, but dude, it's financial services. I mean, when I got hired, the first meeting I went to, I was convinced of three things. Everybody in there was, and it was okay. They was all white. They were all male, and they'd all be dead soon. They were like 80. I mean, they're like, you know why I hired you? I was like, yeah, shit, because you're all going to be dead. You need to hire me. Who's going to write the policies? I mean, but you all not going to live. I mean, you're do life insurance. You're right. You're actuarial. It's like, dude, you're like 80 something. I'm not mad at you, bro, but you ain't going to I'm 50. I ain't living forever, dude. Some of you might got better genes than me. Maybe you go to 90, 95, but I said, y'all at the tail end, you know? And I'm really proud of what people have been able to create for their own families, Frankie. I look at you and Jamie and the kids and everybody has the opportunity. Michael, this should be something that you're looking at here in the very, very near future. Ryan, a bunch of y'all that have big businesses, man. And I'll leave you with this. We have people now that have been here 2 years. 2 years. They came in and were like, I'm going to sell. They weren't number one salesperson in the company. I'm going to sell. I'm going to hire a bunch of people. And they're doing $1.5 million, $2 million a month, like that. So it doesn't matter if you've been here for 9 years. Doesn't matter. That's the beauty of it. Because I'm not a seniority person. I'm not. I love everybody. But if you kick ass in 1 year, I'm the same. I've been here 10 years. Yeah, but they did more in a year than you've done. I'm not mad at you, bud, but it's all in what you're doing for your own business. And so, Frank, if the opportunity is there, run a profitable business, sell life insurance, recruit people, be smart about manageable expenses, have a good accountant, keep your books, pay your taxes, run a real business. Frank knows how to do it. He can walk you through it. And, you know, we present people all the time to him. We just did a group. I brought a group recently of 7 people. We have 14 behind that. Michael, that's a group you'll be in. Like, that's pretty cool, man. So we're presenting this opportunity to everybody, man. We want to keep disrupting the insurance industry, man. Keep changing the way people look. And quite frankly, I'm still childish. Keep pissing people off. I want to keep winning because they say we can't. And they think they're better than me and better than us. And I told one guy today, I shouldn't have said this, but he's like, you don't understand. I was like, dude, you don't understand. Just because you've been in the business longer, he's not an integrity partner. I said, my hierarchy is if I can kick your ass, then I'm in charge. And sure as hell, you can't kick my ass. So stop talking to me that way. That's not a good answer. I didn't go to Yale, but at Eastern Connecticut State University, we learned that in our business classes. So, dude, I just want to work and serve people. That's it. And I want y'all to do the same. So, but I hope that's a good enough answer, Frank. That's all I got.
Dude, I appreciate you, man. I know you're stupid busy. I'm glad you shared some time with us. This is actually exactly what we needed. You know, that's why I love when you come on, because it's like, I don't know. Do you have eyes in the offices, or do you have them bugged? Because like, seems like whenever you get on a call, you just talk about. It's like when you go to church and you're like, the pastor's talking to me. You ever wonder, like, is he spying on me? Does he like? That's how I feel when you get on these training calls, and this is exactly what we needed. Because the sad part is, this is not that complicated, and that's what I think, I didn't like it when you didn't talk to me when I was going through some stuff, but I'll never forget. I ran 30 some odd appointments in a week and I went over and I called you and I was always just worried about you going, he's probably not working because I was always working. I'm like, dude, I ran more appointments than I ever ran and I went over. Does this ever happen to you? And you go, no, dude, you must not care about people. And you hung up on me. And I was like, wow, that's not what I wanted to hear. But then I went back to it and I started going through appointments going, you know what? I was rushing to get in and out of them. I wasn't really there. So it's just, dude, you've been such a blessing to Jamie and I. I do love you like a brother. And you're right. I probably was a pain in your ass, but I'm your pain in the ass. I appreciate it.
You are definitely my pain in the ass and I'm yours. And I love you legitimately like a brother. I love you all. And if there's anything I can do to help, I will. We'll get better every day at corporate office. And I'll keep trying to get better every day myself. So let's do it together. But I'm gonna jump off, Frank, but I appreciate y'all letting me get on, Bob.
Thank you,
Thank
man.
you very much,
Appreciate you.
Shawn.
Appreciate y'all. Thanks, guys.
Have a good night.